Welcome to Leaping Larry's Revolutionary Reading Theatre.
Oh, yes, hello there. Welcome to Leaping Larry's Revolutionary Reading Theater. Today, of course, gonna be continuing on with our Kwame Nkrumah read. Welcome in. I barely noticed you in there. Alright, we are on chapter 7. No, impossible. I would never read a book upside down, Frank. That's not possible. Never happened. Okay, so we are on Neo-Colonialism by Kwame Nkrumah, 1965. The Oppenheimer Empire. I saw it backward, or am I dyslexic? No, I had it upside down. Frank was right. It was upside down. Things are backwards in my camera anyway, I think. Very good camera. The king of mining, South Africa, indeed in Africa, is Harry Frederick Oppenheimer. Yeah. I've heard this before. I've heard this before, Barfcast. Not the first time someone said that to me. One might almost call him the king of South Africa, even the emperor, with an ever-extending empire. There is probably hardly a corner of South Africa's industrial and financial structure in which he has not got a very extended finger of his own, or the hook of some affiliate or associate. These fingers and hooks attach the Oppenheimer empire firmly to other empires as great or greater. Mr. Harry Frederick Oppenheimer, director, chairman, or president of some 70 companies. These directorships, as well as those held by important colleagues and nominees, whose names recur monotonously on the boards of an ever-expanding complex of company boards, give the lie to the fiction of respectable separateness, even where there is no obvious financial connecting link. Dominating this complex of companies are the Anglo-American Corporation of South Africa Limited, the Consolidated Goldfields of South Africa Limited, from which radiate affiliates, subsidiaries, associates, immediately or tenuously connected. What the hell happened with? Which would provide in themselves a most interesting trade, investment, and banking directory. A list of direct interests by no means complete would include look. Anglo-American Trust, British South African Company, I'm just going to list a couple, get the idea. Anglo-Transvaal Consolidated Investments, Rand Selection Corporation, Johannesburg Consolidated Investment, look, Union Corporation. Good lord. The problem here? Most of these are holding or investment outfits, established to coordinate a specific group of activists, but having their fingers in many other pies. It's difficult, almost impossible at times, to distinguish a delimiting line of operation. Trying to unravel the participations of the Anglo-American Corporation, the Consolidated Goldfields of South Africa, for instance, leads often to the same involvements. Yet, there must be a demarcation line. not only to preserve the semblance of autonomy, but to avoid a duplication of tasks and responsibilities in the interests of industrial and financial economy and profits. As a matter of fact, there is a constant rearrangement of organizational structure, either as a result of acquisition of new interests and projects, the abandonment of exhausted minds, the expansion of existing companies and alliances, but above all, in order to forestall or meet competition, streamline the structure to correct tax position. For instance, 1961, Consolidated African Goldfields of South African Corporation underwent a thoroughgoing reorganization with the intention of concentrating its administration into various spheres of operation. According to the annual meeting of the corporation's activities for the year ending 30th of June 1961, the chairman, Sir George Harvey Watt, fixed the assets at stock exchange value at a total of approximately 58 million pounds. 26% of this total was represented by interests in South Africa, 10% in North America, 6% in Australia. Most of the remaining 18% was accounted for by interests in the United Kingdom. To supervise these interests and the planned absorption of others, a number of changes were made in the controlling companies, so that the group structure of Consolidated Goldfields of South Africa Limited now has the appearance shown in Chart 1. Explaining the structure, the shareholders at an annual general meeting held in London on 13th of December 1962, the chairman confirmed that the operational supervision of the group's interests in South Africa was the responsibility of her wholly owned subsidiary, Goldfields of South Africa Limited, which is resident in Johannesburg. When in 1959, the group acquired both New Union Goldfields, named Goldfields Finance South Africa Limited, the South African HE Proprietary Limited, their management was also vested in Goldfields of South Africa. Although the shares of these companies were held directly by the parent company in London. Get a better part of the way the company is structured. All under the board of directors in London. In Australia, responsibility for administration of the group's operations is exercised by Consolidated Goldfields. Yep. Goldfields' principal investments in Australia is represented by a majority interest in Commonwealth Mining Investments, a mining finance company which has a broadly based portfolio in Australian, North American, and other overseas investments, according to the chairman's report. A majority interest in another Australian concern, Associated Minerals Consolidated Limited, gives Consolidated Goldfields a big break into the rutile and zircon industry. Associated Minerals acquired all the outstanding shares of VR Holdings Limited, a company originally formed to take possession of Zircon Rutile Pty Limited, although with that company shares in advance to other companies. But at the same time, Associated Minerals bought the entire share capital of the titanium materials and the assets of Rye Park Scheelite. Experienced enterprises, like Consolidated Goldfields, do not allow others to benefit from their efforts.
Let's go, Smokes. Let's go, Smokes.
Right away, Meg. So while Associated Minerals was building up its holdings in the rutile industry, stated Consolidated Chairman, we felt it necessary to strengthen our position in wrong minerals, another rutile producer in which Commonwealth Mining already had a substantial investment. This is cartel monopoly behavior. I thought capitalism was about competition. Yeah, huh? It's almost as if, wait, hold on, I'm thinking of a platitude. Although this one is true. Capitalism, it's almost like capitalism doesn't work on paper. Huh? Accordingly, our wholly owned subsidiary, Consolidated Goldfields, Pty Limited, made an offer in February 1962 for 50% of all shareholdings in Wang Minerals, other than those held by Commonwealth Mining Investments. This offer was successful, and Wang Minerals is now a subsidiary within the group. Congratulations are owed to Consolidated Goldfields for their prosperity. Their position in the rutile field is now preeminent. In the words of their chairman, the total rutile productive capacity of our subsidiaries now represents close on one half of total free world capacity. The expansion program, which Associated Minerals now has in hand, should maintain this position. May we be forgiven if the qualification free, this context looks a trifle dull to us. Rutile is a much sought after material used in the manufacture of titanium pigment. The demand had the effect of increasing its open market price by some 50% in the financial year 1961-62. Zircon's price had remained stable in spite of considerably increased supplies. A partnership with Cypress Mines Corporation, New York Company, and the Utah Construction and Mining Company of San Francisco resulted in a joint enterprise named Mount Goldsworthy Mining Associates to explore and work the potential of iron ore deposits of Mount Goldsworthy, northwestern Australia. Construction of a 125-mile railway is involved to end up in Deputch Island, where a major seaport is under construction. Sir George Harvey Watt was pleased to inform Consolidated Goldfields shareholders that negotiations are in progress with the Japanese iron and steel industry regarding the market for this ore, which is thought will be competitive in price and quality with any now available in Japan. Good old classic mine to port infrastructure. From the latifundia to the shipping lane. Nowhere in between. In their chairman's words, the company's operations in Canada had taken a distinct step forward. Their subsidiary exploration company, Neo-Colonialism Canadian Exploration Limited, was joined by a second, Neo-Colonialism Holdings Limited. A decision was made to allow the public to enjoy some fruits from the exploration of their country's resources by foreign concerns. Accordingly, 36% of the capital was offered to Canadians. Those who took up shares were doubtlessly delighted to know that 28.5% holdings of Neo-Colonialism Canadian Exploration Limited in the Mount Hundrey exploration will be turned over to the holding company. High-grade deposit of lead zinc discovered in this Yukon region inspired the chairman to an admission of its being most gratifying that so soon after its formation, Neo-Colonialism Holdings should be presented by Neo-Colonialism Exploration with such an encouraging prospect. Moving southwards to the United States, a new company called Goldfields American Corporation was formed in 1961 as a wholly owned subsidiary of Goldfields Mining and Industrial Limited. Goldfields American took over New York organization, set up originally in 1911. whose main function in recent years had been to provide administration for Goldfields Tri-State Zinc Incorporated and Fuel Engineering Company Incorporated, as well as secretarial services for Fresnillo Company. Fresnillo Company was reorganized in 1961 when it transferred 51% of its diverse Mexican activities to Metallurgical Mexicana Penoles, South Africa, under the Mexican government's drive to have domestic control of its basic primary resources. Handsome compensation of $5,500,000 was awarded to Fresnillo, payable over a period of 5 years, for the cession of this holding to Compania Fresnillo, South Africa, in which it holds 49% of Penoles 50% Fresnillo. In which it holds 49% of Penoles 51%. Hey, Falcon. Fresnillo still retains 55% interest in Sombreret Mining, owning another gold-silver property, state of Zacatecas, Mexico. With the coming to the end of their profitable lives of Tri-State Zinc's 2 mines in Virginia, replacement was sought by a new mine in the New Market area of Tennessee. This mine, Tri-State are bringing into production in accordance with the joint venture agreement with American Zinc, Lead, and Smelting Company. Through this agreement, Tri-State will mine and mill at least 20 million tons of zinc-bearing ores owned by American Zinc near Tri-State New Market property. Profits from the output of the treatment plant, designed to provide a daily capacity of 3,600 tons, be distributed on a basis varying between 50 and 60% to Tri-State, 50 to 40% to American Zinc, until all the capital has been returned, after which profits will be distributed. American Zinc's operations are closely connected with the mining and production of zinc and lead ores in several of the American states. It also has a 10% interest in Uranium Reduction Company and 50% in American Peru Mining Company, among several other affiliated and jointly owned concerns. Oil Engineering Company, the other beneficiary of Goldfields Corporation, has been assisted to expand its fabricating facilities by taking over the entire common stock of the oiler manufacturing company. Consolidated Goldfields' interest in the United Kingdom are now grouped under Goldfields Industrial Holdings Limited, formerly HE Proprietary Limited. As a wholly owned subsidiary of Goldfields Mining and Industrial Limited, main operations are carried on through its own subsidiaries, Alumac, Ambuco, and Metallion Limited. Alumac is a producer of die-cast casts, notably for the brewing industry. It has lately expanded into the production of aluminum high-pressure bottles for commercial use. In 1961, Alumac, in the words of Consolidated Chairman, broadened its interest geographically and industrially by the acquisition of the Australian subsidiary Lawrenson Almac Holding Limited, and of 2 United Kingdom subsidiaries, the Non-Ferrous Die Casting Company Limited, Brass Pressings London Limited, already well established in non-ferrous die casting and brass pressing. Tongue twister, some of that sentence. 2 other UK organizational radiate from the London Directorate. These are Anglo-French Exploration Company Limited and Mining and Metallurgical Agency Limited. Anglo-French Exploration, wholly owned subsidiary of Consolidated Goldfields, is an investment and financial business, holding, among others, interest in many of the principal gold mining companies in South Africa. These interests also cover Northern Rhodesian copper mines, well as tin mining companies operating in the United Kingdom, South Africa, and Far East. Apex Mines Limited and Ruberg Minerals Development Company Limited of South Africa and Anglo-Burma Tin Company Limited are among its principals. Mining and Metallurgical Agency Limited was formed to look after the distribution of ores and purchase supplies, as well as to run a shipping, insurance, and general agency business. 50% of its capital is held by Consolidated Goldfields. Goldfields of South Africa Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of Consolidated Goldfields that is responsible for administrating the operations of the group throughout the whole of South Africa. These are of monumental size. For investments in South Africa gold and platinum mines remain the major asset of the Consolidated Goldfields Group and its principal source of income. At 30th of June 1961, gold mining accounted for 71% of the group's quoted investments. The chairman assured shareholders that since the end of the Second World War, Consolidated Goldfields had invested capital sums approaching £450. The South African gold mines, exploration has continued in South Africa and Rhodesia and is in close collaboration with West Witwatersrand Areas Limited, a company which Consolidated Goldfields floated in 1932. Since then, West Witwatersrand has itself become an important South African finance company, with major holdings in the gold mines in the Far West Rand and Orange Free State. West Witwatersrand produced in 1962 gold valued at over £57 million. See, there it is, tripping me up again. Which was twice the size of its production 10 years ago. The Harmony Gold Mining Company Limited, which West Witwatersrand is a holding of 1,247,504 shares through its subsidiary West Wits Investment Limited, also achieved record gold output. Apart from its interest in the Transvaal and Orange Free State gold and platinum mines, Consolidated Goldfields has substantial holdings in Southwest Africa Company Limited and in Rhodesia, Bancroft Mines, and Consolidated Copper Mines, and Rhodesian Anglo-American Limited, all falling within the sphere also of Anglo-American Corporation. In Ghana, Consolidated is interested in Konongo Gold Mines Limited, which has a concession of approximately 80 square miles in the Ashanti Akim district. On an authorized capital of $675,000, not fully paid up, 7,004,176 shares, each issued out of 13,500,000. Working profit of £110,587 was achieved in 1960, increased to £130,378 in 1961, despite an advance in the working class from 86 per ton to 88 per ton. In 1962, Konago Mine Limited informed the Ghana government, not the Ghana General, that the operation of the Konongo gold mine would be uneconomic after April 1965. The company were therefore contemplating ceasing operations just before that time, in view of the loss of equipment, that this would mean that government decided to purchase the mine in order to provide continued employment for the Ghanaian employees. After protracted negotiations, purchase price of £150,000 pounds was paid by the Ghana government. The mine is now under the management of the state gold mining company. Capitalized at 15 million, Consolidated Goldfields made consolidated profits before tax of 6,826,000 for the year 1961, with dividends absorbing 1,729,000. Year 1962 proved for Consolidated Goldfields the most profitable yet in its operations, resulting in consolidated profit before tax of 7,030,000. While, in the chairman's own words, another satisfactory feature of the accounts is that dividends and interest did 5 million for the first time. Oh, you getting the hang of it, Red? How's it feeling to you? Consolidated Goldfields' income comes largely from specialist services, which it provides to companies within its own group and those within its associated group, varying considerably in size, number over 100. Total market capitalization of those quoted on the stock exchange exceeded 170 million at the end of the company's year of 1960. It is by these means of investment and management that much larger incomes are built up than from actual production of the mining and processing of raw materials. That is why so many of the more important mining companies, let alone in Africa but throughout the world, have coalesced into holding and investment concerns, behind whom and among whom stand the most important figures in the banking and financial world. Here we have touched only on the bare bones of Consolidated Goldfields' skeletal structure. The flesh and brawn which clothe it are set in keys of rich fat that have created a huge corporation bulge, smugly admired by the owner, but ominous to the lean, starved African observer. Chapter 7. That chapter 7 was